And the president of the African People's Convention, Themba Godi, says his party is determined to get representation in several provincial legislatures. Godi is today on the campaign trail in the Free State. Let's go now to SABC News reporter Makgala Masiteng. Makgala, a very good morning to you. Thanks indeed for your time. So what are we expecting on Godi to tell the people of that particular area today?
Good morning, Griselda. Yes, indeed, he is here in Qwaqwa at the Hope of Glory Global Church. He is expected to later on address the masses here. Would remember, Griselda, that the party has managed to get into parliament, of course, since the breakaway in 2007. It's always been in parliament, except in 2019, where they failed to get into parliament. But I'm standing with him to hear, of course, of what he will be telling the people now in preparation to the upcoming elections. And Themba Godi, thank you very much for joining us. You are today in the Free State. What is the message that you are bringing? I know this is the time where you have to prepare, of course, to the upcoming elections.
Well, first and foremost, it's to encourage the people to go out and vote en masse, because that's their civic responsibility. But secondly, to send to them the fundamental message of the APC, which is that we want to see service delivery as the primary responsibility of any government, and to ensure that we have an administration that is corruption free, that is no maladministration, that is no nepotism, that is good governance. You can't have service delivery without good governance. You have good governance in order to ensure that there are services. If you look at this area, you would recall that the majority party lost this municipality because there were no services. Those who took over do not seem to have done a better job. So the question of services, not only here but throughout the country, is of major concern. And if elections and its outcome are to mean anything to our people, is that they must see an improvement in the delivery of basic services.
Talk to us about what you've been doing. I haven't really noticed or seen a lot of you on the ground, especially in the Free State. What have you been busy with?
Well, remember that the APC is registered to contest 6 provinces. The Eastern Cape, the Free State, Northwest, Gauteng, Mpumalanga and Limpopo. We have been crisscrossing the country, of course, minus the SABC, in all our work. We have been on the ground. When I leave here today, I will be in Gauteng from Monday until Sunday, because for us, Gauteng is the battleground, and we are putting a lot of effort into Gauteng as the biggest province in the country. But in all the 6 provinces that we have registered to contest, our intention is to win, is to ensure that the APC has representation. And my being here since yesterday is to consolidate the ground for the APC and to ensure that come the 29th of May, the Free State is counted amongst the provinces where the APC will have representation.
Talk to us about what you are bringing. We've seen there are a lot of political parties, of course, contesting these elections. But what makes you stand out?
Well, integrity and history. I think that a lot of leaders talk about doing things that they have never done in their lives. I've had the responsibility to look after public funds for 13 and a half years, which I did outstandingly, and I left that position without having stolen a cent. It is that integrity that one brings. So when I say I want to serve our people, no one can doubt that, because there is history behind it. And if you go beyond parliamentary work into communities, there are lots of things that we have done for our people, whether it's ex-mine workers, communities with mines, traditional leaders, home-based carers, preschool teachers, land claimants, police reservists. All those have been programs around which the APC has been successful. So when we stand in front of people and say, we want to serve you, there is a measure of believability, because we have a track record. I think for me that is the most important thing that talks to, and of course consistency. The APC has been very consistent in saying that the fundamental objective of our politics is to ensure that the majority in this country, the African people, have material benefits from the freedom that they fought for. which is currently not the case. We know we are the most unequal country in the world, and white people have benefited the most from this freedom, followed by Indians, and then Tina as Africans were right there at rock bottom. So I think it is that kind of focus that sets us apart from a lot of what shall I say, empty talk that you get from anyone who has anything to say.
Are you optimistic that you will make it into different legislatures after the elections?
Well, mark my words, the APC is going to make history for being the first party to lose elections, and in the next elections come back into parliament stronger than it has ever been. That is what is going to happen. So we are going to be represented in the National Assembly, and we are going to be represented in provincial legislatures, which had not happened before. The 5 years that we're out of parliament, we're not sitting and twiddling our fingers. We're working every day of my life. I have been focused on the APC, and these elections are a culmination. We'll see the results of the 5 years investment of hard work that we have done. Yes, we have worked on zero budget, but our commitment and clarity of vision has seen the APC performing far much better than even those who have the necessary resources.
Thank you very much. That is the APC leader, Themba Godi, of course, talking about how they are optimistic that they'll be able to go back to parliament. They'll make history, that after losing in 2019, just after that, they'll be able to go back into parliament. Of course, we'll continue to check what is happening on the ground as he goes into to speak to some of the people, Griselda.
Makgala, thank you very much indeed. SABC News reporters out on the ground, several parts of the country, as political parties, of course, try to convince South Africans to put their X next to their party come the elections towards the end of the month.